back for another week of a different kind of genius. I'm your host, Vince, and today with us we have some very special guests. Every week it's very special, but this week's very, very, very special. We got André Kufé in the building. We got Liam King, LT21HUNDRED. Boys, what's going on?
Not much.
I'm just chilling, my bro.
Chilling.
But don't be trying to take my job.
Yeah.
Don't be trying to take my job.
How'd I do there?
No, you did really well. You started
Mad.
a little bit, but even I started when I do it as well. So
Mad.
here we are.
It's all right.
But no, you heard
Good
Boom.
first try.
We're back. Another episode of Different Kind of Genius. This time it's me, Boom, LT2100.
Yep.
You all know us by now, and it's about time that we got Liam on the camera. But I'll explain things because obviously everything looks a little bit different right now. So we've had to move house, which meant we are no longer in the old studio. Like, pray for the old studio. There's nothing we can really do.
Hey, how'd it run?
We ran that into the
It
ground.
was so good.
And a lot happened logistically that needed us to move from that space. So, move we have. So we're now running out of Don't Poke the Bear. Big shout out to Don't Poke the Bear for having us as well. Like, if you ever need to do any recording, any of that stuff, hit them up because they're the right people to do that with. And big shout out to Dan also from Dan Sakita from Don't Poke the Bear. He's looking after us today. He's looking after us with the audio because Liam's joining us on camera, so someone had to take the role of the turkey.
Yep.
And lastly, shout out to Jack from Idle Hands. They put together our new logo, which you'll probably be seeing somewhere along this episode. And they've done a really sick job, and I couldn't be any more thankful for that. But snap, we'll go back to business as usual, even though it's completely different now.
I reckon.
That's it.
And yeah, here we are.
Alrighty.
So basically, it's been 38 episodes since we've had Boom
That's it.
and how life has changed. It's nearly ticked over to a year now.
Yeah,
By the
it's nearly
time
a
this
year
comes
now.
out, it will be a year.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And I could flip that the same way as you guys.
What do you mean?
12 months ago, we were just in an empty basement. And 38 episodes later, we're
What
here.
month did we film the first episode?
It would have been like April, March.
Okay.
Yeah, April or March.
Yeah.
No, I think we filmed it in March and then it didn't drop till April.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, damn. Lots changed.
Well, bro, you led us into it. You tell us what changed for you in the last 12 months.
Jeez. I think the biggest thing that's changed for me over the last 12 months is finally starting at a barbershop. No longer working in the kitchen, which is dope.
Oh yeah, you were a chef back then, huh? Jesus.
Yeah, we don't talk about that. No, we do. I actually enjoyed working in the kitchen. Like, hospo is great in so many aspects of life in terms of knowing, just interacting with people, working with people, as well as realizing what you don't want to do for the rest of your life. But yeah, fortunately enough, I was given a position to work at a barbershop. Shout out to the Streets Barbershop.
Also
Naz,
one of our
Sarah.
sponsors.
Yeah, and so I started full-time there in September, and just been hanging out at the shop every day since then.
Word. Is
Yeah.
it been everything you've wanted though?
I wouldn't say it's everything I wanted because I never wanted to be a barber, but
True.
it was an opportunity that came about that led to working in a shop. Everything I did like a couple of years ago, I didn't know what I was doing it for. And I think working at the shop now is one of those outcomes, one of those opportunities that arose coming out of the blue. Otherwise, if that job didn't come up, I'd still be working in the kitchen,
True.
you know? So I'm blessed, I'm thankful.
How'd you get onto that job?
How'd I get onto that job?
Yeah.
Well, funny enough, Naz saw me working at my other job, working in the kitchen. He sort of said, "What's up?" It was like, "Yo, bro, I haven't seen you in a while. Are you still cutting hair?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." It's like, "Oh, yeah, that's cool." And he was like, "I'm opening up a barbershop in a couple of weeks. You should come to the opening." So I went to the opening, went with Dre.
True.
Um,
Yeah, we stick
sort
on
of-
the whole place.
Yeah, hard. Different kind of genius everywhere on Packington Street, Geelong West,
Bro,
3218.
different kind of genius pulled up. That's what we have to do.
Yeah, sort of just showed love there. Said what's up to Naz, and then I got a haircut there one day, just because I needed it. Just an emergency cut. Like Mikey and the boys were busy, so I was like, "Oh, I can come check this place out." And he's like to me, "Man, like I hear that you're you go around Geelong and you cut people's hair. That's cool, but there's a spare seat here, free of charge. Just use it whenever you feel like it. So I remember rocking up one day, rocked up with a couple of boys, and yeah.
I think I remember that first day too.
I think you were there. Wes
Yeah.
was there. Eric was there. A few of the boys were there, and then Naz and I just got to talking, and he's like, "Yeah, bro. Like, if you want, you can come work here with me." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll think about it." Thought about it. Sort of started there in July, and then come September, I was like, "No, I'm just gonna go balls deep and start working full time." So here I am now.
So you went from home barbering to now doing like 60 haircuts plus a week.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's a
I
lot.
guess so.
You stepped up though, I'll give you that. Like your haircuts, and then it's not only just me that says it, everybody's been noticing.
Yeah, that's one thing I've always wanted to do, was just get better at cutting hair. And that was one of the main reasons I wanted to work at a shop, was because as much as success I was able to do by myself, cutting hair and that sort of stuff that comes along with doing it by yourself, there's always room to grow.
Mm.
And then as soon as I started the shop, so many different opportunities came around where I got to learn, I got to meet different people in the industry, and just got to experience barber culture firsthand. And that's one thing a lot of people sort of miss out on when I'm just doing house calls. Because, like...
The whole vibe of being in the barbershop?
Yeah, there's a different vibe between being in a barbershop and being intimate in someone's bathroom cutting hair. You know what I mean?
Or
like
on the deck
yeah,
with a
or
head
like-
torch.
Or like you're facing Mother Nature outside on the deck while it's raining, and then you sort of have to move back a little bit.
Wait, free
And
cleanup.
then, huh?
At least it cleans it up for
Oh,
free.
it cleans it up, but then have to use my head torch, and I'm like, damn, this is really hard, but, you know, as part of barber, you just got to compromise.
Bro, then you see him the next day and you're like, wait, come sit down, I missed this
just
bit.
come.
I'm
That's it.
Do you know how to cut hair like mine before the barbershop?
Nah, see, like, Liam got a cut at the shop, but one of
Wait,
the other
also
girls.
reluctantly.
Yeah, reluctantly, because, like, he got a cut at the shop by one of the other girls, Bex. And because Liam wanted to cut off me, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll give him to Bex just because she has a little bit more experience in cutting that type of hair. And Liam was like, just sort of shitting himself because he's like, I've never really had someone else cut my hair. And he just loved it from the get. And then as soon as I cut Liam's, and then as soon as Liam needed a cut, Bex is away in New Zealand right now, and she won't be back for a while. So she's like, oh, bro, you reckon you can cut my hair? And I'm like, yeah, for sure, I'm down. Liam was so nervous. He just did not know, like, what to expect.
It was different.
I did it. What do you reckon, though?
It was all right.
Oh!
The man look away. Doesn't even look you in the
All
eye.
right, no, room for improvement. I like that.
No, it was just weird because I got a completely different haircut and my ears pierced on the same day.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
I was just like, oh, but nah, I like it. I like it now.
Yeah, so do
Yeah.
I. Just give it a couple months.
So it's like you're literally a new man now, huh?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Man, the first time I met Liam, Dre introduced me to him.
It
When was that?
way longer.
This was ages ago. This was when we sort of started in that basement, looking at the space, and Liam just pulled up with his analog camera. I'm like, who's this dork-looking kid? Like, his hair was down to like.
No, it
his
wasn't. It
shoulders.
would have been like
No,
there.
I guess so. It was just like the straight cut.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
just
like-
lucky there's no footage of you back then.
Yeah, but I just did
Oh,
not know who
true.
this kid was. All I knew was this kid who was just chopping up tapes for Dre for the skate stuff.
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, Dre kept talking so highly of you. I was like, man, all right, so he sees something in this kid.
Yeah.
And bro, 12 months later, you're like his right-hand man doing this different kind of genius stuff, which is so sick to see.
No shit.
Yeah, bro.
Bro, literally couldn't have done anything without him. So it's just like,
100%.
like he's not even my right hand man. He's more like the yin to my yang.
Oof.
Literally.
Oof.
If you think about it, I'm black,
yeah,
he's
yeah.
white. I can't do what I need to do without him. Put them together. We're now a fully operating party. Like,
Yeah.
it just works.
Okay.
That's true.
Because right hand man, there's no way that, like, that sort of implies, I think, that he's below me. When in reality, he sits on the same level I sit on.
Yeah.
Like, I could not do, like, even just like previously, the past like 6 or so weeks. Like, been moving house right now, and it
Yeah.
has been arse. Like,
Actually, let's get to that.
ugh.
I'll start off with Liam. What does a man like you do? Like, over the last 12 months, how's that been for you?
Good call.
It's been alright. Just finished year 12 in like November. Well, no, October. Halfway through October.
Yeah.
Been working. Stopped working like in December. Got laid off. And then I've just been filming different kind of genius and editing.
That's mad. What's life been like outside of high school?
Pretty good.
Yeah?
It's like, it's weird. It's like less stress, and you don't care about anyone anymore.
Okay.
Because it's like,
Oh, deep that.
okay.
'Cause
It's
I know
just
what
like,
you're trying to say, and it's
yeah.
important because everybody that finishes school
it's
goes
weird.
through
It's just
this.
like the whole school community. It's just like you see those people, even not people that you don't talk to, you like still see them on a daily basis. And I don't know, for some reason you think they care or they've got a reason to care about you. Then as soon as like you stop seeing them, it's like, no.
No, it just doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Huh?
Bro, that's real life though. I was telling you that from the beginning.
100%.
Yeah.
Like, the weird thing about school is you're around people that you're forced to be around all the time. Like,
Yeah.
that's just school.
Mm.
Like, you all go to the same school, so you're all going to see each other every single
Whether
day.
it be good or bad, though.
Yeah, like-
it can be good,
Yeah.
it can be bad. So
Yeah.
take it as it comes.
But then the day,
no,
like,
you go.
you're going to see them every day. But then the minute school finishes, it shows you who your real ones were.
Yeah, legit.
Because, like, they're the ones that are actually going to have, like, in order to see you, they have to go out of your way.
Mm-hmm.
And now that, like, you've gone the freelancing route, which I think is sick.
Yeah.
But then you've got other boys that have decided to go to uni, so now they're moving away. Or you've
Yeah.
got some that have opted into trades, so now they're working like 60 hours a week. So you can't just all catch up, go for it. Like, man, talk about the skate and how much that's fallen off because of school finishing.
Like skateboarding in general.
Yeah, like how you
Yeah,
went
like-
from like 10 homies.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah, no, it's just like, I don't even skate that much anymore, to be honest. Like, once a week or something like that. Because it's just like, I don't know. It was just like routine. I would like go to school and then skate after school and skate on weekends. But now there's like no routine, and it's like I'm filming or editing.
Fair enough.
And then I just like do other physical activities to like
True.
keep myself occupied.
What's that been like for you though? Being in a situation like this, or being thrown into a situation where you're essentially just listening into different types of perspective on life, or like having the responsibility to look after a show like this, you know?
It's a good ass question.
At someone your age, like I
Yeah.
don't imagine a lot of people.
It was weird. At first, it was like, why am I doing this? Like, why did Dre pick me
Yeah.
out of, like, everybody and anybody? I was just like, why? But then, I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this, but yeah, I actually don't know. I guess.
But how does it like? What's it like for you, man? Like, do you compare yourself to others where, like, man, or do you find yourself acting a little bit more mature because you're hanging around with these type of people?
Definitely. I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely acting way more mature when I'm around, like when I'm just like even when I'm at Dre's house or just like in the dkOG set.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, it's good to listen to people's like morals and stuff like that. And then it's good because it's like 38 episodes and I just get to like take things away from people and like
100%.
apply it to myself.
And that's the biggest thing, right? I
Yeah.
remember when Dre and I were talking, it was one of the biggest things for different kind of genius, and the purpose of it was to educate the youth, as like
This man really trying to take my job.
No, but it's true though. No, because I always have these questions, but like
Yeah.
the guest never gets the opportunity to ask, right?
No, go for it.
So
This is a boom show today.
Yeah. No, going back to that question.
Yeah.
I remember Dre was telling me at the start of the show, where like back then, like that show, one of the purposes was to educate the youth, but as well as educate you specifically.
Yeah.
That's why he asked that question at the end of every episode, was so that you could have that self-confidence to bring out to the rest of your world and then help you mature. Do you find that? Like, do you
Definitely.
find that really helpful, like,
Yeah.
being in this environment?
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah, it's just like, it sort of like keeps you in check as well. It's not like you can kind of go and do stupid things, like when you're out in town, or just like stuff like that. Because if you do, and then like later on people find out, oh, that's that person behind different kind of genius, and it like, I don't know, it's got like a bad, it would have like a bad reputation behind it, I guess.
Wait, no,
yeah.
yeah, you keep
No,
going.
you go.
No, yeah, you were just like, no, but I think what you're saying there is you went a whole lot deeper than what I was really expressing, but which is the truth behind everything. But I mean, the whole purpose was that people around Liam's age can take out one thing.
Yeah.
And whether it be just like, you don't have to, like, shit. We have conversations that go for ages. As long as an individual takes one thing out of it that can hopefully make a positive change to their lives,
Yeah.
I feel like I've done my job with hosting different kind of genius.
Yeah.
And that was the best thing. Like, I remember the days when, before you had a license, like,
Yeah.
bruv, that was long. Had to drive to Ocean Grove, pick him up, drive back from Ocean Grove,
True.
then drop him off. Like,
Man,
Yeah.
that
drove to
first
Ocean Grove
episode
4
was
times a
so
day.
bad.
But on those car rides, every time driving back, I'd be like, Liam, like, what did you get out of that?
Yeah.
And like, there was always one thing that you found of significance. And that one thing that you would always find is what gave me the strength to keep on filming.
Yeah.
Because I was like, well, snap, if Liam takes something out of it, like, hopefully somebody else does. And like, but just the strength of me knowing that Liam's taken something out of it means the most to me.
Yeah.
But then the other thing that I was going to say before when you were asking the question is the difference between you and everybody else is you're there for the off-camera conversations as well. So you'll be sitting there listening to all the information and like there's questions that I've missed that then after that you can just ask that, like you just ask the guest.
Yeah.
And then like you're just learning from the experts. Like we
Yeah.
pride ourselves on getting people that we consider to be experts like in their
I
field.
reckon.
So for you to even have that as an option, like it's sick. And to see how far you've now come out of it, like, bruh, you surprised me.
True.
Me too, actually. Like,
True.
yeah, Liam is still that quiet kid, but he knows what he's doing. He's a smart kid.
Bro, Liam's a
Thank
son,
you.
like, we've done other jobs together and stuff where things just have not gone as they should have gone because Liam didn't take the lead.
Yeah.
And it was literally, like, you know the time I'm talking about?
When?
We're not going to say it because, like, we're not
Nah,
going to throw anyone under the bus.
There's been a
But-
few.
Yeah, there's been a few. But there was one particular instance where I was like, Liam, if this isn't going how you want it to go, like, put
Oh,
your
yeah.
foot down now.
Yeah.
And yeah, Liam literally put his foot down. It was sick because the other people involved like sort of tried to take the reins. And I'm like, bro, you're not the filmer. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell a filmer what to do. Like, shut up.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And the minute Liam got control of that,
Yeah.
it just went so much smoother. And it was just that learning of,
I've never
You-
thought about that, to be honest.
bro,
Yeah,
like,
right.
like in that time we were around some like pretty rough individuals. Which makes like sense as to why we were a bit quiet. But I was like, nah, bro, like we're literally all here because you're good at what you do.
Yeah.
And the minute I think I sort of gave you that, you just chest out and you were like, this is how things need to be done. And I was like, yes, bro, tell us because we're waiting for you.
Yeah.
That's it. And that's the thing
Damn.
about adulthood. Someone just needs to make decisions. Everyone else will just sit around and be like, I don't know, I'll be good with what you think is all right, you know? I'll be good with like, oh yeah, yeah, whatever you think. Let's go out for dinner. What are we gonna have? I don't know, I'm good with whatever you want.
Bro, not
That's sort
even,
of like
that, yeah.
people just need to make decisions, and then you can go, no, I don't like that. I do like that.
this is exactly why I said Liam's not my right-hand man. Because yes, it's a stage of adulthood, but it's also the main characteristic of being a leader. Like, to me, I think a leader is somebody that has solutions and is not afraid to try things. And that is exactly
Yeah.
where you are now. Like, you are a leader. You're like, I want to do this, Trey. And I'm like, well, I
Yeah.
don't know nothing. So we're doing what you want to do.
True.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely something I could like work. I haven't thought about that until now. That's definitely something I need to work on.
Sorry, bro, you're still young.
Yeah.
Oh, you got
Man,
nothing but
you
time.
Just like,
this
yeah.
is the first time we're out of high school. You can
True.
do whatever.
Just like taking leadership and things.
But no, that's been like,
I've never really done it.
but
like,
you have.
in school.
No, but I see you around the other homies.
Yeah.
And you got to think about it. Like, shout out Hugo, shout out like Monty, shout out the twins.
Yeah.
Like,
Shout out
they
Ocean
look
Grove
up
crew.
to you.
Mm.
And whether you, bro, like that list keeps going. Look at Tav.
Yeah.
With Tyler, like, bro, I've seen Tyler numerous
Legit.
times, and he looks up at me and he's like, I want to do what Liam does.
True.
I'm like, well, bro, keep doing
Tough.
you. And that is exactly how Liam got to where he got to.
100%. You don't have to be the
Sick.
loudest
Yeah.
in the group, but you
Yeah.
just have to be the one who takes initiative and make sure that things are running. Like, you can have someone who's loud who just keeps talking, but then nothing happens. But like you'll be the person behind the scenes, like that gets shit done. You know,
For sure.
you don't need the credit for it
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's you did it because you wanted to do it.
Bro, even easier than that. If no one gives you the credit for it, let them do it without you.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
100%.
And we've seen that numerous times.
Oh.
Yeah.
And when there's no you there, I'm just like,
Oof.
this isn't working.
Mm.
Like, I'm now, then I tap out. And people are like, why are you tapping out? And I'm like, because you got me here and I didn't have the person that's actually does this.
Yeah,
It's like, of course it's not working.
that's true. That's true.
Shit. Yeah.
All right, what about Dre?
What do
What's
you
the
mean?
last 12 months been like for you?
You know what's really weird? I've like tried to write it all down, like my 2019 like in review, just to remind myself
Yeah.
of like everything I've done.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like much, but now that I think about it, it was heaps.
Mm.
Like, fuck, I don't know where to start. Well, I took a gamble.
Yeah.
I straight up took a gamble. Like, you know, I had a comfortable job in that. It was all right in that. But it wasn't what I wanted to do.
Yep.
Like, it really wasn't. And, like, yeah, the money and stuff was sick, but it was just like, it wasn't enough to get me out of bed every day. And, like, it was evident. Like, the people, like,
Mm-hmm.
those that know.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess I'm happy in the direction the last 12 months have gone. Like we were talking about before, we filmed 38 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
I personally don't think that we were going to be able to drop one episode every single week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting weekly, but then it was just like, why not weekly?
Yeah.
We fell into a routine.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Like we really did. Like, you know, after we had the trial and error with your one,
Mm.
and like we got to be real, the first 3 episodes,
Shocking.
yeah.
Shocking.
Love Boom, love Eric,
yeah.
Ish
Mate.
Pig. That
Oh,
was sick.
shouts out Itch Pig though.
Right. Wait.
Anyway, go.
It kind of needs to happen though. You can't
Yeah,
like you can't just start on
it.
a good episode.
But I was telling Dre when we first started filming the first episode, I'm like, bro, I reckon we should do a dry run before we do all this. And he's like, the
True.
whole time it was like, nah, we'll be right. It'll all fall into place. Like, I just gotta plug this in. nah, no worries. We should be all right. Man, that took us from the time I got there.
It was like 7 hours.
It was
or
6,
something.
7
Yeah.
hours because we had to drive back to Ocean Grove.
Again.
We had to get, we had to fix
Oh, yeah.
the mics, the audio interface, stuff wasn't recording, all this. And I told Dre from the start, I'm like, bro, do a dry run before I get there. So then when I get there, we're all sweet and we're not stressing. And that's why the first episode, Dre was wearing a T-shirt.
Because I was sweating bullets.
That's it.
But that's also not how I choose to do things.
Oh, man.
I love learning the hard way sometimes.
That's why, like, Liam, even myself, is Dre's voice of reason. Dre thinks, but then we'll be like, maybe not like that.
And then I'll be like, nah, but I want to do it like this. And then we'll try it. And I'll be like, yeah, right, what did you say again? Because now we need to incorporate that.
Yeah.
No, but even like other things. So that wasn't even, because I completely forgot all about that. I was more or less talking about, like, in my head, it was just all plug and play. And then I didn't realize you actually need to mix and master the audio. You need to do this, you need to
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
Shout out to Trav Malone. He was a one. And I didn't know him at this point. It was actually, this is a really funny story. He told Jamie that I need to turn it up.
Mm.
And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then eventually Trav sent me a message, like just gave it to me. He's like, bro, when you put your podcast side by side with the other big names, like it's heaps quieter.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like getting ready to be told like what
How
you're
many
doing.
episodes deep were we when
3.
True.
Because Jaron is what helped us fix it.
Yeah.
So when Jaron, like now we're fast forward, like, back to what I was saying. I thought I was about to hear the biggest critique about what I was doing was shit. Like, because I was like, why do you have to go through someone else? Like, why can't you just tell me?
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, I love what you do, but it's just really quiet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, all right. I was like, I think we can make it louder if we need to make it louder.
Yeah.
Then I spent so much time at Jaren's house just learning how to like deal with audio. First, there was a problem of your episode because we absolutely butchered that whole thing.
We didn't even know we thought we knew what we were doing, and then just like it was a problem after another
we
problem.
knew we didn't know what we were doing.
No, but he's talking about post-production.
Yeah.
I knew you guys did not know what you were doing.
Who
Because
knew,
you
like,
thought it was literally just going to put it
audio-
on. We're going to put it on Final Cut. We're going to put the audio straight into Final Cut. Do a few cuts. Oh, yeah, we're all sweet. Nah.
I wasn't expecting for like the audio and the visual to like not sync because apparently the audio file gets like bigger than the visual for whatever reason. Even if you like cut them exactly the same, it just doesn't work.
See, like when Dre started like having problems with audio, I just was not going in that basement
No one's
because I didn't want to deal with that.
Bro, I literally
Oh, no.
spent 20 hours at Jaren's house in the studio trying to make that audio sync.
Yeah.
And like we did everything, and then to the whole point, like I don't even know what Jaren did. I was just like, we wouldn't have been able to do that if Jaren didn't sort us out. But then after we got the feedback from Trevor about having to turn it up, spent I think it was 12 hours at his house learning how to mix and master.
Mm-hmm.
And it was weird because like Jaren's telling me all this like stuff, and I'm just like, bruh, I have no idea what you're talking about. He's like, well, get comfortable. We're gonna learn the hard way. And he literally showed me how to do everything, deleted it all, and then was
made
like,
you
your
do it?
turn.
Oh.
And I was just like, you gave me a lot of information. I really wasn't listening. He's like, oh, he'll walk you through. Walks me through. We did it. He deletes it again. He's like, you gotta do it one more time. And I'm like, bro, I want to go home.
Yeah,
Like it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like I just can't be
Yeah.
bothered anymore.
Yeah.
But no, I'm so thankful for that because he really now the audio is perfect
Mm-hmm.
every single time, and I'm like, big shout out to Jaren. None of this would have happened without you.
Yeah.
Legit.
All right.
No, but yeah, 38 episodes, a different kind of genius, and
We're here.
yeah, and I was stressing hard because when we moved crib, I was like, fuck, like what are we really gonna do? Because I can't have the studio in my house anymore. Like I can't do this, I can't do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
I can rent 2 places, but then it's like Jesus, like you're renting 2
No,
places,
I
like
know.
that becomes very expensive.
I know.
And that's when Daniel Sakita came in the picture.
How'd that come? How'd that happen?
Oh, boom, you just want all the
Yeah,
glory.
I do,
So
I
this
do,
man's
I
trying to
do,
take my
I do.
job,
No,
and
I
now he
do.
wants all the glory as well.
But how'd that happen?
Well, you tell the story. I don't like, all I know is you were having the conversation with him. He presented, and like cut in at any point if I'm wrong, but he was like, I think you initially offered pointing this at the person off camera for everybody that's listening.
Yeah.
Just offered us spare equipment. Like if we ever need to use equipment,
Yeah, that's
like
true.
we're more than welcome.
Yeah.
And then I think in him saying that to you, you were like, oh, well, funny story. They've got the equipment sorted, but they don't have a home.
Yeah.
And then literally, then you sent me a message on Facebook. And I'll never forget, I remember getting the message. I was at the gym. It made my day because I was just having a shit one. But I couldn't reply to you because you didn't have Facebook. So I was just
Yeah.
like, and I was like, messaging Boom. Boom's busy at the barbershop at this time. I'm like, answer your phone. Like, speak
Yeah.
to me, speak to me,
Yeah.
speak to me. Like, I'm like, how do I get back in contact?
Mm.
And then long story short, it ended up happening, and now here we are.
This is it.
It's mad. It's a cool space too.
Like, bro, we have proper acoustic, proper sound. Like, there's literally a band rehearsing next door. Like, we can slightly hear it, but like, no one else can.
No, you can stand up straight.
Yeah, I don't have to hunch my head anymore.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
shit.
We can actually take proper use of camera angles and like use them properly.
Yeah.
Yup.
Like, which is like the biggest thing for me.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, right.
yeah, and
Got
it's
way
just
more space.
yeah, and then don't have to invite people to your house anymore.
No shit.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can literally just like, oh, meet me here at this studio,
Yeah.
and then like we're so close to the train station. Like, the guests that are going to be traveling, like,
Logistics is just so much easier now.
bro, this just makes complete sense.
I know.
Complete sense,
Nah, it's so sick that there's a space like this for where we are, you know.
bro. Like,
And like, no, it's untapped too. Like from what I know, it's a lot of students that use this place, but not a lot of people know about this place. I didn't know about this place until Dan told me about it, and then like, but I didn't really know until Dre told me about it. So, yeah,
yeah, like literally, this is a space that like anyone's got the option to like use it. So it's like, by all means, if you're creative trying to do some sick stuff, like,
yeah,
don't poke the bear, pull up.
yeah. All right.
What other questions do you have for us?
I was gonna say top 3 episodes. Go.
Bro.
Start with Liam.
You're going to get us in trouble.
No. All right. Top.
Most favourite episodes.
Yeah, the one that like got to you the most. Like you doesn't have to be in order either.
Yeah, top 3 no order.
Yeah.
You gonna ask why or just?
Yeah. Why? Just give us a little insight too.
Alright, I like Matt's the MMA fighter.
Matt Williams?
Yeah.
Word.
I didn't listen to that one. Sorry.
Dog. That was the shortest one as well.
I don't know. He just like talked about putting value in youth and just like making sure the youth is like just like they feel valued, and when they see that someone values them, they can like be themselves. So they can like do things to their full potential.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's what Dre did to me. Like
Mhm.
there's no chance I'd be doing what I'm doing now if Dre didn't like legit take me under his wing. Like I wouldn't have started filming the skate comps and stuff like that. I wouldn't be doing music videos.
That's
I
cool.
wouldn't know Bay City Crew. Like
That's cool.
I wouldn't know like legit half the people I know without Dre.
Yeah.
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 Number 2, or just like another one, Cax, because he does like graphic design,
Yeah.
graffiti and stuff
Yeah.
like that, which I like doing myself.
Can I interrupt?
Yuck.
I like that one because that
Yuck.
was the first
Yuck.
time you
Yuck.
got insight on Dre's
Yuck.
life though.
True.
Yuck.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
seriously.
Yeah.
Like before that, man, Dre would not talk about his life ever.
True.
But then that was the first
well,
time.
like
So
even off
if-
camera.
if anyone that's
Yeah,
watching
bro, I
this
was
right
fucking
now
like,
and you
I
haven't
hated
seen
it.
Cax's episode, watch Cax's episode if you want to know more about Dre. Yeah.
I don't like emotions in that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I knew you were going to say this as well. I was like, I don't want to, I was like,
Nah, I gotta throw Dre under the bus because he just hates it.
no, but yeah.
Who'd be your other one?
I don't know. I can't think of another one on the spot. But like those 2 Mats and Caxes were
Oh,
like
that's
the
cool.
ones that stand out the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
Dre?
Oh, true. I know. It was hard because they're all special for different reasons.
Yeah.
Snap. They were literally like, for me, it was a bit like half of them were the homies, half of them were people I really admired.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like,
Would Poet be one of them?
bro, that's like that. Like that was a moment that confirmed for me that I was on the right path.
Yeah.
Like I was just like, why? Like this is probably he's one of the biggest influences in the UK hip hop scene. Like that's
Mhm.
without a lie.
Mhm.
And the fact that he even took time out to have a conversation with me over like an internet program where we just have to record it via webcam because
Yeah.
there's no other way to do that.
Yeah.
Was amazing.
Yeah.
And not only that, like we actually got a relationship after that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Like I can hit him
Swear
up
to God,
anytime.
Dre was about to cry when he started talking to him.
I'm not about to cry. For me to cry, like, bro, I just told you about how I don't like emotions. For me to
Yeah, I
cry, it's
know.
like, that's going to have to be really something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like that really blew me away. And then the relationship that formed after it, like, I message him all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we just check in with each other. I'm just like, you good? He's like, yeah, you good? I'm like, yeah.
Mm.
He's actually come to Australia soon, so it'll be sick to actually get him here.
Man.
And then I need
Imagine.
to go over to the UK and I need to go over and see him as well.
Yeah.
But, like, one of my favourites.
Even like memorable ones.
Honestly, I think Cax's as well.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I think that set the pace for me, like opening up a bit more to other people and stuff, which really pissed me off. But like it's happened now,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. As much as I don't like it, I think because I don't like it means I have to do it, and especially with different kind of genius because if I hate my emotions, I hate feelings, I don't like talking about them, blah 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 blah.
Mm.
But if I can do it while being recorded,
Mm.
I have to really, like, it's one of those things, like, you got to lead by example. I believe that this is something I think that men should be doing,
Yeah.
and I can't sit there and preach that without doing it myself.
Yeah.
Even though I hate it, it's just, But yeah,
You don't hate it.
I'd
You'd
definitely.
just rather not.
Yeah, I'd rather not.
Yeah.
But then what's cool is since I started doing that, my conversations with others have really changed.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, man.
it's probably because I'm showing more
Oh,
emotion that
I know.
it brings emotion out of them. Like, you say it all the time, and it just makes me angry.
Bro, every time you come into the shop, I swear to you, God, you're just doing a different kind of genius on like a client or like someone who's just sitting there.
Bro, it's just conversation.
True.
All the time, man. Bro, you sit there, like, at the start when Dre first started coming to the shop, he would spend like 4 or 5 hours there at a time just talking to random people. That's how Jack came about. 'Cause
True.
he was just sitting there editing the podcast or whatever. And then I was cutting Jack's hair and I'm like, yo, Jack. Oh, no, yo, Dre. Jack does graphic design and she does, they do cartoons and stuff. And you're like, true. And then I swear to God, they were there for like another hour and a half just talking.
Yeah, that was. And then look at it. She now designed our
Yeah.
logo, which will
Yeah,
probably be like
that was
here
cool.
or here or somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, like, bro, that's something I talk about all the time. I love conversation. So
Yeah.
anyone I speak to, it's like I actually am going to give them my all. Like I'm actually,
Mm-hmm.
I listen to you. I actually ask questions. Like I'm curious.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess Cax's episode. I feel like I'm cheating because I just copied Liam. Snap. Who else? One that got slept on. Allergies.
Yeah.
Episode 31. That
Yeah.
was probably our fault because we dropped it at probably the busiest time of the year where no one really can be bothered
Yeah.
doing stuff because everyone's doing Christmas stuff. But episode 31, I really enjoyed it because we got to, it was another moment where I opened up a bit. You know, so my mum bashed me hard. Not bashed me hard, that sounds real bad. But mum like grilled me. She's like, all you do is talk shit.
Oh.
I was just like, about her. And I was like, sorry that our upbringing wasn't the best.
Yeah.
And like, that's genuinely how I felt.
Yeah.
But, like, I love you more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until episode 31 where I was able to speak on that.
Yeah.
And then she messaged me and she was like, thank you. And I was like, see? I was like,
Told you, Mom.
yeah, I was like, told you I love you. I was like, relax.
Jeez.
But just everything we spoke about in that episode was a really good episode. Like, that man been through battles. And then we spoke about cancer and just how we hate cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more.
No, that was 3.
Was that 3?
Oh, no. The poet one count?
Oh, yeah, let's count the part 1. That's gang. What about you? Someone someone from
alright.
not from our perspective.
Yeah. Memorable. Outside looking in, I would say...
If you say yours, it's going to expose your ego.
I'm not saying what at all. I hated bro, I haven't even fully watched mine yet.
Bro, we got to
True.
talk about that listening party.
Yeah.
Bro, we had the listening party at our house where we watched the first one. This is back where we used to live.
I was just outside the whole time.
Bro, it was the most
Right.
awkward thing ever.
Yeah.
You can't hear yourself.
Yeah.
You watch it, it's just
I
terrible.
don't think I'm watching this episode.
Bro,
No.
I'm going to make you edit this
Yeah.
episode.
No, I'm not editing this.
True.
No.
Well, all right. Top of my head, the one that like really got to me. Maybe this was just like because it was such late at night, I couldn't get to sleep, so I thought I'd chuck on an episode. Was Daniel's D the Artist.
Oh, word. How did I forget about that one?
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that was such a cool, introspective sort of episode where you sort of got everything about life and you sort of got an insight on what like prison and jail was like.
Yeah.
An addiction.
Yeah, and addiction and like what led him to that one punch. And I'm like, damn, that's nuts.
Yeah, when you look at that on paper to think,
Yeah,
started off smoking weed as an 11-year-old,
yeah.
then got addicted to meth,
Mm.
and then in that cycle, you punch someone and end up in jail for 18 months. It's
Yeah.
like, holy.
I know. Like that was such a good like story. Like the way he was storytelling was awesome.
Well, we've got to give him credit now as well. He is still sober to this day. Doesn't drink, doesn't
Yeah.
do nothing.
Yeah, congrats to him.
His music's gotten so much better.
Yeah.
He's doing great things now.
Yeah,
And we'll probably be seeing a bit more of him as well.
yeah. Then I sort of related back to that one, not because I do drugs or been to jail, but like we go visit the jails too, and
You got to
Getting-
explain that a bit more.
like so with the shop we go out and we go visit and pretty much teach inmates how to cut hair. And then, but being in prison, like for the first time walking in as just a visitor, being able to walk through the jail, this was just a low security one, so it wasn't too hectic. It looked like a summer camp, bro. There was like there's a running track, there's an oval, basketball courts. Every cell sort of looked like a dorm. And then we're pretty fortunate enough, like the guys there are just awesome people, but they just made some pretty fucked up mistakes.
Also acknowledge that you're not in general population prison.
Yeah, that's
you're
right.
in the one that's like
Yeah.
for the more protected ones.
Yeah,
let's
yeah,
just
just to
say.
protect. Yeah, protection prison. That's pretty much what it is. So then, that's why we're able to even just use like normal scissors and not have to chain them up to the chair or whatever. And the guys are so cool in there because they respect that. Because if this program fucks up, then they lose the opportunity to do something better with themselves. Like, if something goes missing, then they shut down the whole program, the prison system, everything. Like, can't go back in. So that's why they make sure that like if an outsider comes in, they like keep a close eye on them, you know. And then just because after watching like so many prison movies, like Shawshank's like one of my favorite movies, and then you hear about all this stuff like jail lingo and that stuff, and then Daniel sort of reaffirms everything too, and then seeing it firsthand, like, all right, you don't want to deal with those guys because those guys are the ones that, like, oh, you want to deal with those guys because those guys are the ones that protect you. Those guys, you don't want to hang out with them because they do da 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 da. And that was cool. That's why I like Daniel's episode.
So that's one.
Yeah, that's one. Jamie Taylor.
How I forget?
Yeah, I forgot about Jamie.
I like
as well.
Jamie
There's
because
38 people.
Yeah, that's true.
he's a good
41
man
if
at
you can't
heart.
get shorty.
True.
He's a good man at heart. And one thing I really liked from his, because I listened to his one like months after the episode dropped again. So
Oh, you ran it back.
yeah, I ran it back. And everything he was talking about in the episode he shot at, by the time I listened to it again, everything had already happened. Like all these events, like him dropping music, and things he didn't necessarily know what type of events were going to happen, but those events happened later down the track. And I was like, this is a man who speaks the truth. He also follows through. And he won't run his mouth for the sake of doing it. I just found that so cool.
That's grown man shit.
Yeah, that's grown man shit, you know? And like, again, his story with addiction and all that sort of stuff is like very inspiring to people because he's a family man who's turned his life around from everything that was just not great to being where he is now. Amazing.
And then lastly,
The last one's pretty biased. The Get Shorty one, I really like that one. Those are the like day one homies in the barbering game.
their
Yeah.
episode was sick.
Yeah.
I think the episode I had the most fun in was theirs.
Yeah.
Because I like this. I like it not being like, I love one-on-one conversations, but also it's fun to switch it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's fun to be able to like, look this way, I'm looking at Liam. Look this way, I'm looking at Boom. Like, and then it was a test for me as well. Like I felt like I found my routine of just interviewing like a one-on-one guest. Like I knew, not what I knew, I had my flow for it.
Yeah.
Like, so I knew how to drive it. I knew how to like do it. Like I just knew I was comfortable in doing that situation. But the minute I added 3 people, I was like,
Yeah, you didn't go from one guess, you went from 3.
Yeah.
You skipped 2.
literally. And I was just like, it was a different thing completely because I was like, I got to ask one of them a question. I'm like, well, who do I ask?
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, I'll ask all 3 of you the question and then we'll go from there type of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had so much fun in that episode. I think because it was just a change.
Yeah, that's true.
Like it really
The
switched it
topics
up.
you guys covered were cool too, because
Yeah,
it
bro.
related back to like myself, just like working in a barbershop, you know, and creating that sort of space with people, and that's probably like the most important thing I got away from that one.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so highly of those boys. I'm gonna cheat on you one day as well and go get my hair cut by 'em.
No, like the thing is, I give Dre my blessing to anyone I know.
But
That's it.
Yeah, I'm just trash as. Boom goes away, and I'm just like, well, I'm not getting my hair cut.
man. Well, whose episode was it you were wearing a beanie because I was away for 2 weeks?
Zach Galloway.
There
I
you
enjoyed
go.
that episode as well.
Oh, man. I was away for 2 weeks. I told him, like, Naz will hook you up. Get a haircut. Wears a beanie for the episode. This guy.
It's just, man, like, I don't know. Getting a haircut to me is like a real intimate thing, so it takes ages
I know.
for me. Like, I don't know, just when I was a kid, I got screwed over all the time. So I was like, now
Yeah.
it's like,
Oh, it's
I
just,
know who cuts my hair.
yeah.
And the last thing I want to do is, and so funny, this episode hasn't dropped yet, but it will by the time this
Yeah.
comes out.
Yeah.
We talk about it in Lee's,
Yeah.
the barbell barber. When I sit in a barber chair, don't ask me what I want. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, I want you to cut my hair
Yeah.
how you think it should be cut.
Yeah.
Because I've never had to tell someone. Like, I don't have to tell you. You
Yeah.
just do what you want to do.
Man, that's the most important conversation you'll ever have, is that consultation with your barber. It's not, oh, can you do this to my hair? It's, is it possible for me to do this with this hair? What do you think? And then go from there.
Well, I'd
Cause-
just rather sit there and be like,
Oh,
this is what
I
you want to do.
know.
Do it.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, those three are the ones that like stuck out the most to me. But I guess like I've seen like 75% of them. There's some weeks I miss it, but that's just on me.
Oh, bro, there's 38
But
episodes.
yeah, I know. I haven't watched mine at all.
Wait, shout out to the people that I know watch every single week as well. There are a
Yeah.
few of you. And I want to rattle off, like, just the ones that I know about. Q, I know you watch every week, and Q's actually given us a lot of insight into where we're going next.
Mm-hmm.
Cody George, he's got a whole bunch of music and stuff dropping. He's just too afraid to come on Different Kind of Genius and tell us his story. But yeah, one day you'll hear from him.
Mm-hmm.
And big thanks to everybody else that watches every week. Like, there are a lot of you. They're just the only two names that I know that watch every week. But, like, if you've seen everyone, let me know. Like, that's just, like, I don't know what I can do for you, but I will show you heaps of love because that is what you deserve.
Yeah, that's cool. Like just having that constant support.
Yeah, and we've got it. There's, like, I
Yeah.
don't, like, it's nuts. I don't know who they are because it's a bit hard. Like, say it in the comments and we'll show you love there. But, like, yeah, just let us know because
Hey,
we know there is someone.
tell
There's
me
a
something,
few of you.
James. What's it like since starting Different Kind of Genius and your interactions with like people coming up to you about Different Kind of Genius that you didn't know who they were? That like they'll just come up to you and be like, "Yo, I've watched a few of your episodes. What's that like?"
You throw me under the bus here because you know how I am. I'm a very cynical person. So, like, when people come up to me and
What
I
does
don't...
cynical mean?
Uh,
Because I got no clue.
I have mad trust issues.
Yeah.
So if you come up to me and you tell me I'm good, I'm
It's
like,
"What do you want?"
yeah, real bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, literally, people come up to me, they're like, just like, well, I'll be wherever I be. And they're like, oh, I watch Different Kind of Genius, I love it. And I'm like, why? like, I'm very, like, standoffish. Like, so for me to, like, let you in,
Yeah.
like, it takes time. And I'm like, why? And then, like, just hearing what these people had to say, like, I'm like, true?
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's actually sick. And it was a bit weird because in my denial of emotions, you cut out all emotions.
Mm.
So I didn't know how to deal with those positive emotions.
Mm.
Like, people would tell me it and I'm like,
Mm.
I was just weird. And I was like, this is weird.
Yeah.
And then that was the beauty of it. Like, you know, they came and told that to me. And I just started talking to them.
Mm.
And it was sick because I think they appreciated it even more because I was actually having real conversations with them.
Yeah.
Because I get weird. I was like, yeah, like, I know you love my, like, you told me you love my stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't really want to keep talking about that.
Mhm.
Like, let's talk about life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's great. What I love the most about it is they know how I operate.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll ask a question and I might ask it like a real retarded way, but they'll know what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
and they'll answer it like that. So then every conversation we have is a fulfilling one.
That's cool.
Like, it's actually a good, solid conversation.
Yeah, of course.
And I think I appreciate that bit the most.
What about Liam? You ever get that? People come up to you about Different Kind of Genius? Or
Not
like you ever
really.
get,
Recently, some like people, some like when I was in year 12 and like year 11s,
Yeah.
some of them have like, just like a few of them have just been like, oh, are you still filming Different Kind of Genius? I'm
yeah.
like, I
Do you
didn't
ever
even
get
know you
your-
pay attention to me, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Do
Yeah.
you ever get people like asking you what's it like working, or like what's it like doing Different Kind of Genius?
Nah.
That's a
No.
lie. You don't remember. What about Flexibition and stuff?
What about it?
Like where you were trying to film and all people were trying to do is talk to you.
Yeah, all I
Wait,
got,
no, oh,
I just hear
that's
people talk about that event. And I'm like, man, I need Liam to do this for me because
Yeah.
he's mad.
nah, yeah. A nightclub's just not the place to be like trying to have a deeper meaningful with someone.
But
and
even
like,
still,
they're
like-
like in my ear and I'm like, bro, I can't hear you.
Just that face to face, you know.
Yeah.
Because one thing I learned, when someone says thank you to you or like wants to give you something, you just accept it. You don't question, don't do nothing. You just accept it because they're going out of their way to give their emotion to you, and the best way to respect that is just to take
True.
it. You know.
Yeah.
I hear you. And I think things are changing now, and especially now that we've put you on the camera, like, and then it's also for you. You don't get out as much as I do. Even though I don't get out much anymore,
What do you mean get out?
like, you remember the way in Ocean Grove?
Get out in Ocean Grove?
Yeah, that's far. But then, like,
Who's in Ocean Grove?
yeah, like big facts. I was just trying to politely not say
Nah,
that.
who's
but
in Ocean
reality, like,
Grove?
no one's in Ocean Grove. So yeah, and every time you come to town, like people are always like boom, 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 boom,
True.
boom.
Yeah.
Can we count how many times all three of us have said true as well?
Huh?
How many times each one of us has said true?
Well, if somebody has the
Oh.
Get a
answer
true
for that,
count. We got to get a true
if
count.
somebody has the answer for that, put it in the comments, and we'll have your name roll through the whole next episode.
True.
Like when that figures out, like we'll actually do that.
True. Yeah.
Dumb.
Shit.
What about you? You got questions? That's sort of like that's what I've.
Bro, I was expecting
Wanted
heaps
to
more
know.
questions than that. That was pathetic.
Whoa. Fuck. This isn't my show.
Damn.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's go back like 50 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Alright, I've been asking good questions.
Nah, I hear you.
I got one.
What?
Alright.
Where for both is where do you see like it's been because we'll do another one of these in
Yeah.
like a year. Where do you see yourself in a year?
Damn,
Ooh. Ooh.
that's true.
Well, you want to start or you want me to start?
You can start.
Dead ass. I see me and you going overseas to do some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what that looks like.
Like to do what?
I don't know because I don't know how we're
yeah,
paying for it.
Yeah.
But I know we've got stuff to do overseas.
Mm.
Just for like, well, I know for a fact we have to go to the UK.
Yeah.
And I have this weird
True.
feeling that when we go to the UK, more doors will open. So we might as well go to Africa from there as well.
Yeah.
And we'll take everything that we have and go figure out whatever we can do.
Mm.
But I just know that that is something that will happen hopefully in the next 12. That will happen in the next 12 months. And
For sure.
then for you, I hope that like we're both in that awkward stage now of like, fuck, do we get a job? Do we not get a job?
I gotta get a job.
Yeah, like you got to get a job
Yeah.
or you got to move from Ocean Grove, but you can't do either of those things with no money.
Exactly.
But for you, I know that it'll work out.
Yeah.
And you've thrown a lot of like, I don't even know, like I don't fish and shit, but you've thrown a lot of rods in like the ocean, like something will bite
True.
and like you will be rewarded.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you know what I mean because I always speak to you like this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like, out of everybody,
Lot
you
of
know what I
rods.
mean.
Yeah.
But no, I think we'll travel.
No.
I definitely,
Sick.
I know we won't stop.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how we go with the new Don't Poke the Bear setup for a year.
Mm.
But I think it will continue happening. But at the same time, if this space gets too busy and if we keep growing, like, I don't know what we'll do next. But for now, it's like, this is our home. We're making the most of it. And yeah, bro, we just got to stay consistent.
For sure.
That, like, we already are consistent, but
Yeah.
if we stay even more consistent,
Yeah.
people will know we're even more serious and more doors will open.
Yeah. I feel like only way we're gonna fail is if we stop.
Man, we can't.
Yeah.
Like as we said, there's
Like,
like
yeah.
heaps of people that tune in every single week. Like they listen consistently.
Yeah. It's just like, it's not an option. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not at this
It's just
point.
like stupid if we stop. Just stupid.
100%.
Yeah.
Oh man, if you guys stopped out of nowhere
Yeah.
because like
why?
you guys got lazy, far out. Everyone's gonna be like, why? There was no reason.
Mm.
But that's the most conflicting thing. We won't stop because we're getting lazy. I honestly thought we would stop because of like a fun situation, like money and that. But we're so lucky that our outlays are only the $14 a month to upload our stuff to Spotify and that. Like
Mhm.
we're fortunate that we have all the equipment. We're fortunate for Don't Poke the Bear for looking after us. We're fortunate that guests continue to help us out. Like we've got everything that we need to keep on going. And so if we do stop, it's us being like shit as.
And if you do stop, you're gonna be letting down so many people, because all the people that have helped you out throughout this whole time see something in you guys, see something in this show. So if you guys stop, it's gonna be like, bro, we thought this was gonna be massive, because it's probably the biggest thing that's happened to Dre since I first met him. It's gonna be one of the biggest things that's gonna happen in your early life, because this will set the tone for what you do next.
Bruh.
For sure.
What about you? Actually, wait.
Yeah, go to Boom
Yeah, go to
first.
Boom.
Me? Well, maybe this is going back to at the start where you were asking me what the last 12 months has been like for me. If you know me, I've sort of been doing a lot of things at the same time, right?
Yeah, too many things, bro.
This is working at the shop is the first time I can say that like I'm only working one job. I'm only doing one thing, and I think this is like a shift in. This is a time for me where it's a shift in career and mindset, as well, and so what the next 12 months is going to be like for me is just grind, get better at what I do. Not just in terms of cutting hair, because that's one of the important things, but as well as growing as a person. Like I haven't really mapped out what the next 12 months is going to be like for me. I'll throw some travel in there. I'll take a day at a time, but I think I want to just be able to streamline how I do things in my life, sort of reevaluate where I am at, because I'm sort of getting to that age where I'm like, I have to do something, but I don't want to just do something for the sake of doing it. I want to do it because I want to do it. And this is actually one of the first things I've ever done that I want to be doing. Like, I go to work every day and I'm like, all right, we're here. All I'm going to do today is watch basketball, drink coffee, talk some shit, and maybe I'll cut hair too.
You're guaranteed to cut hair. You work at a barber shop, bro.
But in that order, you know?
I hear you.
So yeah, I think that's what the next 12 months is going to be like for me. Don't see anything major happening.
Why not?
Huh?
Why not?
Fell into routine, bro.
True.
Yeah. Like, it's a bit of routine, but I know. Because again, this opportunity presented itself to me because I grinded, because I was taking the right steps towards something.
Yeah.
So what I mean by like taking it day by day is treating every day like it's different, and then maybe someone will see something in that sense, and another opportunity will come. Because in the first 6 months of the shop I've been at, I feel like there was a lot of opportunities that were coming my way, but there was some I was like, I might have to say no to that, and I'll only commit my time to this. Because the thing I learned while doing a million things at once, working jobs, uni, all that stuff, was that I can only put a certain part of myself in each one. But if I put myself 100 into this one thing, which is working at the shop,
Mm.
it will further grow my career as well. But I'm not saying I'm only going to be cutting hair at the shop. That's not what I mean. Where I'm only doing one thing. Like I might be cutting this one guy's hair, have a conversation with him, and an opportunity arises later down the track where, like, look, I can help you out, possibly opening up a new shop, or like I'll fly you out to this somewhere because of what you do. But yeah, I think that's all. If that sort of answers the question of like what I see myself in doing
Yeah.
12 months,
For sure.
I see myself just consistently growing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
And LT21HUNDRED.
I don't usually like trying to see where I'll be in like a year or something, because it's whatever I think will be. It's always completely different. I don't know, for whatever reason. Usually it's good. Hopefully, I've figured out exactly what I want to do with myself. Or I think it's like, it's time to start taking either film. Yeah, I think I want to go towards film. I've got like 3 hobbies. It's making graphics, photography, or videography.
Stick with it.
Yeah. And
Big
it's like,
facts.
but I always
with it.
like keep coming back to photography, or keep coming back to like designing graphics and stuff like that, or just like go back to videography. But I feel like I can go heaps further with videography as a
Yeah.
career, for sure. But
For sure.
those other 2 hobbies will always be like
If-
something.
If
I'll
I
do.
could have some input,
Mm.
like stick with those hobbies,
Mm.
right?
Okay.
Have money coming in, however you want to do it.
Yeah.
Stick with those hobbies because eventually the money will find its own way there.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big believer in that because cutting hair was just a hobby of mine.
True.
Like I said earlier, I never saw myself as being a barber,
Yeah.
but because I just stuck with it, and because I find that I enjoyed it, because it wasn't for the money, it was because of sole passion.
Mm.
That's why I'm where I'm at today.
Yeah, for sure.
So stick with making videos.
Yeah.
Stick with, don't do it for other people.
Yeah.
Do
I
it
don't
because you want to do it.
I don't see like video making being my like number one salary income, like
You never know, bro.
probably like ever.
You never know.
Yeah, I never know, but like that's not what I see this
Okay.
year, like for the next year anyway. Hopefully I can get a job soon so I can just get like a weekly salary, because it's like it's necessary,
Yeah. Cool.
like fuel and stuff like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
food, and like new camera equipment if I need it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where different kind of genius will be in a year. I'm not really sure.
A year better than last year.
What's the biggest
yeah.
goal for different kind of genius in the next 12 months?
Oh, bro, that's something I haven't thought about yet.
We've talked about. Should we say what we've already talked about?
I think
Yeah,
Do it
'cause
with, like-
you're remembering things
well,
that I don't remember.
dkOG Chronicles is
Yeah.
like it's
Gang.
that's Ep 1's already out, but we want to start like going to different like creative people's spaces and stuff like that. Kind of
Mhm.
like a MTV Cribs thing, but it's like
Whoa. Don't give them a blueprint, bro. Just tell them, like, what we're like.
wait, if you guys give me enough money, I'll tell you. I
yeah,
know.
just like go to their space and just like see what they're about and like have them in their environment.
Mhm.
Just like expose them to different kind of genius audience if they want to.
Straight up.
Yeah.
And then something that we should have explained at the start, but we're going to incorporate more engagement with the people that actually listen to us every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, there are some weeks where we're not going to have a guest.
Mhm.
Instead, we'll run something like this, where we get, I know,
Just
one of
having
our
a chat.
previous guests,
Yeah.
one of the homies, just someone, and whoever we get on the night before, we'll put up the question thing on our Instagram. And if you want your questions answered, ask us those questions, because we will speak about them in that episode. And we'll use those questions to guide the conversations. And also just talk about all the relevant stuff that's happening in the world right now.
Mhm.
For sure.
And yeah, I don't know, is that really a goal for different kind of genius? Is that what we're going to do?
I mean, if it's a goal, I hope you're gonna do it. You know. So
Yeah, true.
yeah,
That's what we're gonna do.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then switch it up so that when we do get different kind of geniuses on, that they're real different kind of geniuses. Not saying that no one's been a real different kind of genius, but yeah, like
But yeah.
we need. I don't know, like fuck me, right? Like what can I say now? But yeah, like literally, the people that we're gonna get on are gonna be sick, and they were always sick. But yeah, now
Yeah,
they're
keep
sick and
being sick.
special.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What's
Dope.
your goal?
Me? I don't know, man. I'll put it out there. I wouldn't say it's in the next 12 months, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe one day I want to become an educator.
Well, like teaching that.
Yeah. Whether it be cutting hair or like cooking or something. I want to be an educator in something. Just putting it out there.
How to cut hair with Boom.
dkOG Chronicles.
No, that's my business plan. Get out of here.
You cut my hair.
Yeah.
Actually, no, you cut your
Actually,
hair.
yeah, no, I'd love
I'll
to see
cut your
Liam
hair.
cut Dre's hair.
Oh,
Oh, imagine that.
Oh, I don't care. Like,
Yes, you do.
Yes,
yeah,
Alright.
yeah, true, I do.
He
I do.
does.
As long as I don't mess up my hairline, like I'm straight.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it from my end.
Yeah.
What about you?
I don't know. I don't know what else we have to tell the people. Yeah, just stay tuned for when we start asking the questions and stuff, because that'll be sick. And plus, it gives all you guys that we weren't able to identify before a voice to be heard here as well. Yeah, I guess we're pretty much at that time of the day, hey?
Yeah.
I reckon.
All right. Well, Dre's already been asked this question,
Oh, fuck.
so it's Liam's turn. What do you wish you were told when you were a youth,
This
or
man.
even younger?
Hold on.
Yeah.
He can't take my job because he doesn't know how to do it properly. But Liam, LT21HUNDRED,
Oh.
what is the one thing
Oh.
that you wish
Sorry,
you were
guys.
told as a youth?
I'm gonna
And I
leave.
stuffed
I'm
that
just
up,
gonna- I'm just
but
gonna
no one
leave.
caught that.
I'm still a youth now.
So,
So,
Yeah.
you're a leader though.
I don't know. One thing. I don't know. I guess. Alright, I don't know how long this has been going for, but at the start of this, no one's really. I don't know. Okay. I guess I haven't really been told to take. I guess I have been told. I've never really. It's one of those things where people always tell you it, but you're never really listening, just because it's like a cliche thing. Well, that's my reason to not listen. Take leadership in things. Yeah, I don't know, because I've never really.
why take leadership?
Why
Yeah.
things go to plan and if things go your way, how you want them to, if you take leadership.
Go your way or go the way it's supposed to be? Because I feel like there's a difference.
Oh,
No,
this is
you
Oh,
go
you,
Liam.
have,
your
you haven't
way.
thought that far yet.
I don't know.
Nah, I think from how I interpret that is
Yeah, I butchered that. I don't
no,
know.
you're talking about not lead like you're talking about leadership, yep,
Yeah.
but you're talking about ownership,
Yeah, like,
owning your own shit.
and like take pride in it, because
Yeah.
I've never really taken pride in any. Yes,
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah,
Who's this guy? He's gonna be a new man after this.
Bro, he was a new man 12 months ago.
Exactly.
This is the start of
He's gonna be newer.
Bro, you know what? This is going to be his year. And I'm not even mad that it's not going to be my year first. Like, my time will come.
LT2100.
But this is
Let's go.
LT2100's time to shine.
Yeah.
Like, you literally, world's yours, bro.
yeah,
And however you take it is however you're going to take it. You already know that I'm going to be there to support any decision that you make. Just, I
Sure.
can't be there to make that decision for you. So make that decision, and I'll support you. I'll become your right-hand man through your decision-making process.
thank you.
Jeez.
What do you mean,
Is,
jeez?
Emotion, Dre.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck.
That's not emotion. That's just me saying, I guess how I
Yeah,
feel.
yeah.
That's emotion. Yeah, but that's how I feel. I don't care. That's how I feel.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Leave me and my emotions alone, bro.
I'm not ragging you.
Leave me and my emotions alone. Nah, but
Yeah.
snap. I guess we're pretty much it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Plug yourselves, even though everyone knows who we are.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Liam,
LT2100.
Yeah.
let's go.
Yep.
What about you?
LT2100.
You
Wait,
can
plug
catch-
your barber in now.
Oh, true.
I guess so. Catch me at the Streets Barbershop on Packington Street. Follow me, Ballesteros, on Instagram. Other than that, yeah. Don't ask me how to do your hair. Ask me how I should do your hair. That's it.
I think what you were politely trying to say is, don't ask me, just sit in my chair and I'll
Yeah.
cut it.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Emotions.
Oh, God. This better not be the trend for the year, otherwise I will quit.
Oh, man.
I
All
will
future
tap
guests,
out.
please get deep and meaningful with Dre.
Nah, that's long. That's long. Nah, but yeah. Follow Don't Poke the Bear. I'm pretty sure they got an Instagram as well. And yeah, we could not do what we're doing without them. But yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you everyone for listening. Boys. Boom.
Liam.
That's it.
Oh, we're actually leaving.
Yeah, you can't leave him hanging. Snap. Yeah, I can't say Liam, wrap it up because he's sitting next to me. But stay safe. Peace out. One love. And we'll see you when we see you. Don't be clapping. Don't be clapping.
That was good.